Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Jaden Jordan, and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel, Triple J Sports Talk. We got a special video. You see the graphic right here. You see it. A surprising trade with the trade deadline this week. The Los Angeles Clippers are trading James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Sources tell ESPN. Prolific swap of the star point guards. Wow, 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 and wow. Did not expect this at all. Very, very surprising. I'll start with how we got here. A day before this all happened, there was a developing story that James and the Clippers were working whether the sides could find a deal by the Thursday's trade deadline. The story broke out. This developing story broke out when the Clippers were playing the Philadelphia 76ers and James was out for personal reasons, and we know now why he was out, to work with the Clippers, to him being a Cleveland Cavalier. James Harden is a Cavalier. Again, just really surprising, out of nowhere, shocked. But I guess I'll start with the Clippers side because I feel like I have less things to say within the Clippers. I don't know what the Clippers are gonna do now from today and tomorrow, as I'm recording on Wednesday, and the deadline ends tomorrow on Thursday. So I don't know what direction, since the Clippers traded James, they're gonna go in. I don't know if they're gonna trade Kawhi Leonard and trade Zubats, or they're gonna add to this roster. So gotta be interesting to see what this team does. But given a recap of this Clippers team, like, can we just talk about the Clippers for a second? Like, what a season for the Clippers. What a season for the Clippers. I'm gonna say it again. What a season for the Los Angeles Clippers. In a good, bad, ugly way. Starting in the offseason, you had the whole Kawhi Leonard tree aspiration things that carried the whole summer in the NBA. In the offseason, the Clippers re-signed James Harden to a 2-year, $82 million deal. They re-signed Nicholas Batum. The Clippers traded away Norman Powell after a career year before this year, where Norman Powell was traded to the Miami Heat and was named a first-time All-Star a few days ago, so congratulations to him. In that same deal, the Clippers received John Collins. The Clippers also signed Brook Lopez to be the backup center, and the Clippers got Bradley Beal after Bradley Beal was brought out by like a buyout. Brought out by, that's the same thing. He was bought out and he was signed by the Clippers, and to end things off, the Clippers got Chris Paul, and which was supposed to be a farewell tour, and we all know how that turned out to be. To begin the season, the Clippers were struggling, and they received this news that Bradley Beal was out for the season, and we had to receive surgery to fix a fracture in his hip. The Clippers continue to struggle to start the year, and we had this whole Chris Paul thing. The Clippers, to begin the year, they were 5-16, and they decided to get rid of Chris Paul. And Chris Paul wanted to play his final season with the Clippers. And they sent him home at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m., in the middle of his farewell tour. I was about to say James, but Chris, like, he wanted to return to the Clippers, the team where he made a name for himself, where he would be a legend forever, and he would be a future Hall of Famer, thanks to wearing those colorways in that jersey. He wanted to come back home and end the season on what he thought could be a contending team, and Clippers did him like this, and I don't think we should be surprised because the Clippers did Chris Paul dirty now, Blake Griffin dirty in the past, Um, and yeah, and the Clippers after that they continued to lose more basketball games until they had a hot streak in the middle of December. And I'm covering what's behind me, but it says the Clippers have been on a hot streak since December 20th, the middle of December, with a 15-3 record, the best in the NBA. A 15-3 record in the last 18 games after a bad start, a slow start to begin the season. Us as fans, we were all worried. I think everyone was worried of how bad the Clippers were playing because the OKC Thunder, Oklahoma, OKC, they have one of the Clippers' first round draft picks for this upcoming draft. Um, and everyone knows that's not good, especially because a couple months ago, OKC just won a championship, and now you gotta add another high draft pick to this team. But the Clippers, they picked it up in December, all the way through now, which is February. I'm recording February 4th. They've been playing some better basketball, and a few days ago, Kawhi Leonard was selected to be an NBA All-Star. So congrats to him after being snubbed of not making it. But Adam Silver was doing this whole USA versus World thing in the All-Star game, and the USA team needed an extra player, so the teams were all equal. So congrats to Kawhi. And now you have this unexpected trade with Darius Garland and James Harden. Um, just what a season again for the Clippers. Yeah, now talking about Cleveland and James right now. But yeah, now talking about James and Cleveland, which is just still so crazy. Um, this is James' fifth team, and I believe 6 years. Behind me it says his fifth team in 5 years, but I think that's incorrect. I think it's James now 15 or 6 years, so James been all over the place now, but James is a Cleveland Cavalier. So now we're talking more about Cleveland and James Harden. It's been a day. I like this trade the more and more that I see it. I really like that Cleveland was aggressive and found a deal to acquire James Harden. So I really love this deal a lot. But before I say anything, um, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have to win an NBA championship. I'm gonna say it again. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have to win an NBA championship. There's no ifs, so, ands about it. They have to win. I love that Cleveland was aggressive, again, to acquire James Harden. Because I think Cleveland is thinking like, why not us? In the offseason now doing a recap for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The talk in the Eastern Conference was Cleveland, the New York Knicks, and whoever else. That was the talk. Um, Everyone was disclosing everyone else in the Eastern Conference. It was just two teams. It should be one or the other representing the NBA Finals in the Eastern Conference. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've had a struggling season in the beginning of the year, at least. And they were disappointing, especially after last year, the historic season that Cleveland had, and they went out in an unfortunate way in the playoffs. The core of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley, it hasn't worked out in the playoffs. I never been a Cleveland believer at all, really. So I'm glad Cleveland's like trying to figure something out. But like again, like you look at the Eastern Conference on February 4th, I still think it's wide open. And I think Cleveland feels the same way, and they're thinking like, again, why not us? Why can't we be that team still to represent the East and the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals? Cleveland, they've also been a team that's been better as the season has gone along, and they also have went 7-3 in the last 10 games. So Cleveland's playing some good basketball, and I believe won 5 games in a row now. But I really love this move. James Harden is definitely gonna help this team a lot. I feel like James Harden has always been a player that has been great, an amazing basketball player in the regular season. He's gonna elevate this Cleveland Cavaliers team. He's gonna elevate Donovan Mitchell. He's gonna elevate the Cleveland Cavaliers big man, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. James Harden's gonna come in, I believe, and gonna do James Harden things and do his job. I love that Cleveland, like again, got James Harden. I know the whole talk is James hasn't been good in the playoffs. He's been a playoff downgrader, I guess you can say. But right next to James Harden, right here, you see my mouse, you have a playoff riser in Donovan Mitchell. And some scoring punches, like when Donovan Mitchell doesn't have to be scoring all the points, James Harden could come in and have scoring punches at different times of the game to help Donovan Mitchell out. So I don't feel like either have to worry, and I think both players could really help each other out in the long run. So I love again that Cleveland is doing this. Looking like at the standings, Cleveland's currently fifth in the Eastern Conference, 30-21. They have the tied with the Toronto Raptors and have the same exact record. So I think again, Cleveland's thinking, why not us? I know Detroit has been the best team in the Eastern Conference, but just thinking like in Cleveland's case, I really think they're thinking like this can still be our year, and they made this trade, along with getting Dennis Schroeder, excuse me, and Keon Ellis, and trading away DeAndre Hunter. So Cleveland is also a team making moves. I don't believe they're done, but who knows? You'll see from today and tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see more blockbuster NBA trades. Especially during this video, I've seen a couple of more trades. So it's been hard like making this video and paying attention because I've been distracted and all that. But thank you guys for watching. My name is Jaden Jordan, and Triple J is out. Peace, y'all.